Hi everyone, my name is Charlie and I've helped over 150 people win their PIP claims and I receive PIP myself. Today I want to do a sort of form of PIP trickery. It's to raise your awareness on how they merge activities in their questions. So for example, sometimes they don't say, now let's talk about preparing food. Now let's talk about washing and dressing. They don't do that. So I'm going to give you an example of me being PIP and me talking like what you would as an example. And then once I've done this scenario, I'm going to ask you how many of the 12 activities did they score me on? You're going to find this really interesting. So remember, let me remind you of the activities. PIP is split into two sections: daily living, there are 10 activities, and mobility, where there are 2 what they call activities. Okay, so let's just have a quick look at the points so you can refresh yourself. We've got preparing food. This is daily living, preparing food. Taking nutrition, which is eating. Managing therapy, which is how long someone or people spend monitoring you and supporting you. Washing and bathing. Managing toilet needs or incontinence. Dressing and undressing. Communication. Reading and understanding. Engaging with people face to face. So this is like strangers, not people that you know and trust. Finally, budgeting decisions, so understanding money. That's the daily living 10. In the mobility, we've got planning and following journeys, so leaving your home, going somewhere, and moving around. In this scenario, I want you to imagine that I'm doing the assessment with PIP like this. So it's an online assessment, okay? Can you tell me your name and the conditions that you suffer from? My name's Charlie Anderson, and I have fibromyalgia. Sorry, I'm a bit anxious about today. I have fibromyalgia and I get migraines. I get really bad migraines. And when did those conditions start? Let me just check. Sorry, I just need to check the form because I can't remember it off the top of my head. Fibromyalgia was diagnosed in 2018, and the migraines was 2012. And what medication do you take for those? Oh, sorry, I haven't got my paperwork on those. I just need to get it's just over there. Just give me a second. I'm so sorry. Yeah, that's fine. Take your time. Pretending to get the paper. Well, I take amitriptyline, and that's 50 milligrams every night. Okay, anything else? Yeah, I have to take Migraleave, and that's when required. And what dosage is that? Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't write. I haven't got that in front of me. Do you want me to get a box or see if I can find it? Uh, is it the same as what you wrote on your form? Yes, yeah, it hasn't changed. Okay, brilliant. Right, that's it. How many parts of the 12 activities that we went through did they just score me on? Because they didn't tell me they were looking at any activities, but they would have scored me. They will score you based on something that simple. How many do you think? Do you think it was 1? Maybe communication? Maybe. But it wasn't washing and bathing. I don't think, was it? Let's have a look at the points and I'll explain. What I'm saying now, they still might ask further questions, but pretty much they're going to have made notes that will impact your scoring. Okay, so let's start at the beginning. Wasn't preparing food, although they did see me moving around. Only a short distance, it wasn't eating. Managing therapy, monitoring health condition, I demonstrated that I understand my conditions and my medication. So this will be an inkling for them that I might not need much support. Washing and bathing, no, they wouldn't have scored anything. That they wouldn't really have indications on that. Toileting needs, no. So we're through 5. Dressing and undressing, they would very much be looking at what you're wearing. Am I wearing buttons? Is my hair done up in a posh do? Have I got makeup on that is intricate detail? hair done so I could do my shoulders and everything that links to dressing. So they still wouldn't score it, but they'll be thinking about it. Communication. I would have scored 0 for communication because I was able to explain my name, my medication, and the dosage. And amitriptyline, our medication, even if you struggle to pronounce it, you're still communicating. Yep. So that's 1. Reading and understanding. Yes, they would have scored me on that. They would have scored me 0. So I'm not diagnosed with dyslexia, otherwise we would have covered that in conditions. And I checked a piece of paper to confirm my medication, and I was reading difficult words. So that's 2 of the 12. I scored 0 just in that little question, just in that little bit. Engaging with people face to face. Do you think they scored me in that? They absolutely would make notes that I was able to communicate, I appeared calm, my breathing was normal, no signs of anxiety. Even with the bit I said at the beginning about, I'm a bit nervous, they probably wouldn't document that. They'd have said that I was fine. So potentially they could score 0 on that. Just from that bit. Just to clarify, I know this because I've spoken to people that have scored this amount and had assessments that have lasted 20 minutes when actually they're entitled to PIP. Okay, do we think that's it? Do we think that it was just 3 of the 12 that was scored? Budgeting decisions. They'd probably, to be honest with you, they'd probably score me 0 on that, based on the fact that I don't have a diagnosis of dyslexia. I can clearly communicate, I can read, so they'd probably literally score me 0. So that's another one would be gone. So that's 4 of the 12. How long was I actually demonstrating this? It felt like a couple of minutes. It wasn't long. Planning and following a journey? No. Moving around. So what did I do? I got up and moved around. Now, I have taken a lot of tramadol to be able to do that because quite often, and people that have seen me in meetings can vouch that sometimes when I get up and make sounds, depends on what time of day it is, depends on how I am moving around. So I tried to look effortless when I was doing that walking, where they would be like, obviously it was a short distance, but they would have been looking at how was I moving? Was I able to stand up? And now I've just said that to you, actually, it would link to toileting as well. So for example, you use an aid to get up off the toilet. When I got up, I didn't pull on anything. So potentially they might make a note about that as well. They would still ask questions. I'm confident that in that example that I've given you, they would still ask questions on the toileting. They would still ask questions on the mixing with people and the moving around, potentially communication, reading and budgets. So I was just checking my notes. Communication, reading and budgets, that's 0 score. They will merge questions. You need to be prepared for that.